This is a stacked front row. 139, Lenny Hale. Number 2, Martin Schwartz. 488, Chris Siglin. And number 1, Ricky Corey. Now, last time out here, Ricky Corey had dominated his class for the entirety of the season. Chris Siglin came in, played around a little with drafting. I thought he was just going to sit back and wait until the last lap to take him at the line, but no, a couple laps before the finish, Siglin passed Corey and just led the race from the front. Then at the following Formula Pacific race, Corey had an off in turn number 1. I don't know if the pressure's getting to him or things are a little different. Siglin has definitely found some more speed. I think I've seen Jake Zemke in his pit this weekend, so he's been working hard on doing everything he can to put all that power of that big bike to the ground, that fast line BMW. This should be one heck of a race. Now, Lenny Hale has also found some extra power. Extra speed. He found some tires that he's much more comfortable with. He switched tires and he's found a lot more comfort. Previously, his tires were going by about halfway through the race. Now he's got ones that'll make it the distance. So Lenny Hale is definitely a factor. Martin Schwartz, of course, has been doing an enormous amount of training on working on physical conditioning and speed, and that's been paying off in spades. Jason Laritzen has been fighting some bike troubles all weekend. He's having a bit of sputtering, and he thinks he's gotten them resolved, but he's had to disconnect some of the components that help make the bike go faster, like a quick shifter. And as the bikes get poised, 2 board is up, 1 board. On its side, revs come up. Green flag and we're racing. Hole shot's going to be the number 1 of Ricky Corey. Chris Siglin close behind him, and then the 139 of Lenny Hale. Followed next by Martin Schwartz. But look at Lenny Hale on the outside. He shoots on by everyone. Chris Siglin somehow stole a first place out of that, though. And then Lenny Hale goes flying through turn 2. He went by Chris Siglin like he was standing still. I have never seen that. Lenny Hale just attacked turn 2. Next wave, green flag, they are off. This is the novices. Tyler Alders with the straight shot, but Lenny Hale is in front. Jason Laritzen's trying to work his way through traffic now, trying some alternate lines. Ricky Corey back in 3rd place. Chris Siglin's in 2nd place, but the story is Lenny Hale. I cannot believe the speed that guy carried into turn number 2. It was absolutely phenomenal. He is breaking away at the front now. Chris Siglin has a little bit of a gap on Ricky Corey, and then behind him, Corey has Martin Schwartz, Jason Laritzen, and Greg McCullough in that order. Heading into turn number 10. Lenny Hale leading up front. Go, Lenny, go. Chris Siglin, Ricky Corey, Martin Schwartz. We got about a 6-bike breakaway out front. And this is some great action. Now let's see if these tires are going to last as well as Lenny hopes. Lenny has been a dominating force in the AFM for a long time. And here he comes, Lenny Hale, Chris Siglin, Ricky Corey, Martin Schwartz, Jason Laritzen, Greg McCullough. Then I believe that's Sebastian Ferrara. That is Sebastian Ferrara on the big yellow bike. Over the top of the hill, Lenny Hale just dominating. Look at Lenny go. He has fallen in love with his new tires, and I can see why. Let's see if they last the distance for him, though. Ricky Corey is slowly catching up to Chris Siglin, and both of them are starting to break away from Martin Schwartz, Jason Laritzen, Greg McCullough, and Sebastian Ferrara as they charge on down that back straightaway. Lenny Hale absolutely finding a rhythm. Chris Siglin, Ricky Corey, Martin Schwartz. No change up in front right now. Lenny Hale, big wheelie out of turn number 1, heading into 2. I want to see some onboard video of that first lap. Lenny Hale was just a madman heading into turn number 2. I don't know if Chris grabbed extra brakes or Lenny just grabbed extra throttle, or maybe a little of both. But Lenny Hale just shot to the lead and is just owning the lead right now. My big question is, can he keep it? Will the tires keep up with the smoking pace that Lenny Hale has in the front? The 3 riders up front are right now at the low 148s. And this isn't even Formula Pacific. I gotta assume that they're gonna come back with fresh tires and fresh gas and fresh riders for race number 9, which is Formula Pacific. Cross flags are out. This first call for lunch. Lenny Hale. The points battle behind him, though. This is Chris Siglin and Ricky Corey. Ricky Corey is now all over the back of Chris Siglin. And this is the story I'm a little more interested in now, because this has been the story all last year, the year before, this year. Siglin and Corey. Corey is used to getting a great start and leading the entire race, and he hasn't done that all the time this year. Right now he needs to find a way around Chris Siglin. Of course, he is studying him as well. And I believe that's Jason McCullough, Jason Laritzen has worked his way up into 4th place. And he's brought Sebastian Ferrara with him, dropping Martin Schwartz back in position. Sebastian Ferrara is just following Jason Laritzen through the back in front of him. Jason now up into 4th place. Cross flags continue to fly. Tyler Walters leading the novice division. Siglin seems to get a little bit better of a drive in the back section of the track where he's pulling away from Ricky Corey. We've seen that in previous races. I can almost see the track, or the wheelie control, or some sort of throttle control working on Ricky Corey's bike as the wheel starts to come up and then come down rather abruptly. I gotta think that some electronic assistance in there trying to keep that front wheel down. And look at Jason Laritzen and Sebastian Ferrara side by side down the front straightaway. Is Jason going to let Sebastian through? Absolutely not. Jason's got a wife to think about right now who said before she was transported out of here, go out and race. Do your best for me. I'll see you later. So Jason wants some good results for Jennifer. And that's what he's getting right now, is some excellent results. Lenny Hale is just this close to a 147. He's down to a 148.0. This is shades of the old days when Lenny Hale would just absolutely run away with every race he was in. He's showing he absolutely has not forgotten how to do that. Chris Siglin, Ricky Corey just flying on by a backbarker through 11-12. And it looks to me like Jason Laritzen is slowly catching up to them. Onto the front straightaway, white flag. Lenny Hale's tires have been handling this masterfully. Chris Siglin, Ricky Corey. Siglin's keeping in front by not by much. Sebastian Ferrara has gotten in front of Jason Laritzen. No, he hasn't. That's a backbarker that I'm seeing there. Jason Laritzen still keeping it going. Sebastian Ferrara all over his tail. But I have just two words for everyone. Lenny Hale. Hell no, this guy is just going. He is on fire. Jason Laritzen and Sebastian Ferrara still fighting for that number 4 position. Chris Siglin just barely keeping in front of Ricky Corey. Ricky Corey all over the back as they go to turn number 7. There's going to be some more backmarker traffic they're going to have to work their way through. But the last few times it's as if they weren't even there. They would just fly around them so quick that the rider didn't even have a chance to flinch. Siglin in front of Corey, heading over into turn number 10. Lenny Hale coming out of turn number 11. Ricky's going to make a move. He's right on the rear wheel. He's as close as he's been. Ricky Corey charging out of turn number 11. You can see that traction control fighting to keep that bike gun flying as they charge down to Ferrari Silicon Valley Bridge. White flags out. Here comes Lenny Hale on the front straightaway. This is going to switch into a checker. Lenny Hale flag to flag with the win. But here it is. It's a drag race. Chris Siglin, Ricky Corey. Chris has got that one. The final drag race here is Jason Laritzen and Sebastian Ferrara. Jason's got this one in hand too. And it's going to be Martin Schwark and Greg McCullough. We're going to try to find our novices. This should be Tyler Walters. Again, there will be the lunchtime podium celebration for 250 Superbike. This was a fun race. Please come down and support these guys. They put on a great show for us, so let's do our best to show our appreciation. And 250 Superbike, my unofficial results had it as Dave Moss, Paul Johnson, and Valentine Welch. Please bring your bikes on down to the podium for the lunchtime podium celebration. And for the novices, that is Tyler Walters, Tom Guchno in that order. It is lunchtime. Please come on down to the podium celebration. We'll see you there.